Hey, good afternoon. Follow-up. We're back out here at the old Chevelle again. Last video down about cutting a console and some bucket seats in the car, and this is just a kind of follow-up to see how we're progressing. Had a bunch of rain days and some other things to do in the holidays, so we didn't get much done anyway. Come in the car here. They sell brackets for these seats. These are Scat Pro 90s. You can get them, I think they're called Pro 90s. Pro Car by Scat. Anyway, they have low backs, and they also have ones with headrests. This car originally had headrests, so I decided to go with headrests. Anyway, I got them from Speedway Motors. You can order them from a bunch of different places. Sometimes hard time finding them in stock. Anyway, I think I said in the last video, they come with these brackets here. There's actually a third hole here. I cut that off. As I stated in the other one, with the bracket that goes to the floor in here, the seats are going to sit way too high, hit my head, so I decided I was going to attempt to just make some brackets and put them in so it sits a little lower, almost like a stock seat. Anyway, I don't want to bore everybody with everything. Anyway, I got some angle iron here, and I cut some pieces off, and basically I got them bolted on there. I wanted to use oh, excuse me. I wanted to use the original seat holes that are bolted in here. Obviously, there's none on the inside because this was a bench car, but I wanted to use them because of the extra support. And I've seen a couple people, they just did similar to I did with some angle iron, and they just drilled holes through the floorboard there and bolted them down, which is fine with some fender washers. As you can see, what I did, I welded some angle iron brackets to the floor, spread out 4 inches wide. I wanted to disperse the load a little more, and then didn't have to drill any more holes in the floorboard. I did that. It was a little bit of a tedious process. Essentially, I made these, eyeballed them. The seat holes are centered up. I set the seat in and out of the car a bunch of times, trying to make sure it was centered, not leaning, cockeyed, or any of that nature. And I got those, and I had to measure the distance between the two holes to match the car body. I did that. And you see I mounted one on the inside. This one's mounted on the outside, just to spread them because I needed 14 and 5/8 center to center hole. So I got them. I basically set the seat back in there. I made those 4-inch brackets, and I just loosely bolted them to this side. And I set the seat in the car. Got pretty much everything lined up. Seat felt straight. Everything else, and essentially what I did, I took a Sharpie and I marked the inner ones on the floor pan where they were going to go, and then unbolted them, and essentially I welded them in there. I've actually done both sides. Got them all ready, shifters laying over because it's all hooked up. I unbolted it to put the if you can see in there, I got the neutral safety switch. So I unbolted that so I could get that in there. I just haven't put it together yet. I figured I'd let it lay there. It'd be easier to get my front piece of carpet back in, to cut a hole in the carpet for that. If it's standing straight up, it might not give me an accurate measurement of where the hole goes. Anyway, that's where we're at with that. You can see here, they give you self-tapping screws, some big bolts, to mount this in here, and I was actually going to use them. I screwed one in there, and it didn't hold crap. So, I got some stainless steel, fat-headed 3/16 racing rivets, and I pop riveted that in there. If I ever have to take it back out of there, all I got to do is pretty much drill the head off of there. Be no problem. So anyway, that's just an update of where we're at. I'm actually to the point where I should be able to start putting the car back together. The inside there, well, you can see I painted the brackets, and I've still got to do some touch-up painting on there. Paint these brackets so they don't rust. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the bolts. I've got grade A bolts and everything for it, but they're not black. We'll figure something out. Anyway, just a short update to let you know where I'm at. I'm kind of at a little bit of a standstill here because I just got done doing this and I painted all this stuff in here. And it's going to take probably a little while to dry. So after it gets dried, we're going to see if we can get the carpet laid back in here. Get all that in there and basically start bolting it all back together. Hopefully my measurements and everything work out. I get the seats bolted in there. Console shouldn't be a problem. I got the back bracket. I know it'll line up. That lines up. The only thing I'm concerned, the front two screws up there on the hump. There's self-tappers for them. Hopefully I got enough room to get in there to put a drill or something in, or I'll have to pre-drill them and put something in there. Anyway, just wanted to give a quick update on where we're at with that. Hopefully we'll have the interior all back together, and then we'll start on something else. All right, everybody. Thank you. Goodbye.